Okay, the 40 cal Smith & Wesson, also made by Winchester and Smith & Wesson, but you're only going to find it named Smith & Wesson, 40 cal Smith & Wesson versus the 9mm. Okay, when I had the 9mm, I didn't know anything about the 40 cal, didn't know anything at all, but I knew that it was the other type of gun that this offered to be shot in the M&Ps. So I figured before going and buying a standard 9 M&P, I'd do my homework and find out exactly what these 40 cals are all about. Turns out a 9mm in diameter is just 9mm. The standard target round in a Winchester will be 115 grains, and it goes 1,200 feet per second. 10mm is just that. It's 40 cal is a 10mm. You're adding 1mm to the diameter. That can be good because it takes out more of the target. The other thing that's good is the weight of it is 165 grain, 160 grain to 165 grain in a standard target round Winchester, and it also goes 1,200 feet per second. In other words, for 1mm bigger of a bullet in diameter, you're getting 150% of the weight with the same velocity. So yes, a 9mm handgun, the bigger it gets, the more bullets it holds, and it can hold vast amounts more than a compact 40 cal. If you get a standard 9mm, this is a compact 9mm. This is a standard 40 cal. The compact in the M&P holds 13 rounds if you include the one in the chamber, 12 plus 1. So that's a good 13 rounds. The standard size in this holds 15 rounds plus 1, so that's a good 16. I believe you get 18 in the standard size of this, and I believe you get 10 plus 1 in the compact size of the 40 cal plus 1. So literally for the sacrifice of 1mm larger in diameter of a bullet, you're getting limited capacity variation, but you're getting 150% of the momentum of the 9mm bullet by switching to the 40 caliber. The thing is, a 9mm bullet is more than enough to take out an assailant in a self-defense situation at more than enough range. You will never find yourself complaining with the performance of a 9mm bullet. If you do, you're probably going to find yourself complaining about your own performance in shooting guns or the gun itself. So why switch to the 10mm? I've heard of 9mm hollow points bouncing off someone's skull. It's going to knock them unconscious. They're not going to be a threat anymore, and it's probably going to kill them in the long run, whether it bounces or not. Say you want to add 50% of the weight. That means 50% of the momentum. You're also getting a little bit more diameter, so you're going to hit more of them. With that hollow point, when it's coming out of a 40 caliber gun, that 50%, I highly doubt it's going to bounce off the guy's skull. And there will be a lot of you in this video who disagree that a nice hollow point from a 9mm will bounce off a guy's skull in the first place. Honestly, I don't have any legitimate field testing for you. All I'm saying is what I've heard, and that's the only complaints I've heard out of a 9mm. And honestly, once that one time it happens, that story gets out there, the story becomes popular, and all of a sudden you hear that it happens all the time. I've heard of the 380 ACP bouncing off somebody's winter clothing at 50 yards. Now, whenever you hear somebody who is against the 380 ACP, it says that all the time. Maybe that guy had a real thick biker's leather vest on under his jacket, and it hit a button, and maybe that did the job. The primary thing I'm trying to say here is bullets are meant to kill somebody, and the bullets that are still manufactured are the ones that have done the job over the good over 100 years that they've been around. The best are manufactured in large amounts, like the 9mm, the 22 LR, and the 22 LR is great for hunting small game and stuff like that. It's also great for killing if you need to do that, but I mean, if you need a guaranteed kill, you're gonna get more of a guarantee out of the 40 cal than the 9mm. But if you're worried that if you don't get the 40 cal when you have the choice of the 9mm and you prefer to go with the 9mm, that it's going to be a life and death situation that you're going to regret not getting the 40 cal, trust me, your concerns are in the wrong place. A 9mm is going to get you through every time. However, a 40 cal is going to do more than get you through. I believe the only way this 40 cal really can pack the same velocity while putting 50%, an additional 50% of weight as opposed to the 9mm, is if they have some kind of magnum load gunpowder in their bullet. And the thing about magnum loads are you find them a lot in revolvers. You find revolvers with extremely powerful, slow burning gunpowder. And that's great and all, but when it comes to semi-autos, they seem to have put the power of a revolver with the performance, accuracy, clip size, reloading, everything into the 40 cal. And like, I love Smith & Wesson. These two are both models of Smith & Wesson, the M&P. I should have done my homework as soon as I saw a bullet named after Smith & Wesson, the 40 cal Smith & Wesson, but turns out Winchester also helped them make it, but obviously not enough to stamp their name on there, or they didn't pay for the rights enough. But all I'm saying is they came out with the 40 cal to just put away with all those, concerns of a 9mm not doing its job. A bullet doesn't have to go quite as fast when it weighs a whole lot more. Yeah, it helps, but, a 380 only goes 800 feet per second. These guys go 1,200 feet per second. These specific hollow points with the rubber stopper in them and all that go so much faster. These are critical defense. These bullets, if you put them through even some of the highest level guns like the M&Ps, Glocks, all that, they're not meant to have FTX or what it's called, or 9mm plus P plus or 40 cal plus. And what that is it's plus pressure. So these rounds have so much extra pressure in them that if you decided to shoot nothing but these at the range, after a good 20 mags, you're looking at some damage done to your gun, actually. Some pretty heavy damage. However, when you're shooting with enough mags to defend yourself and you want some bullets that are going to push your gun to the limit but not break it immediately and take out whatever is a threat to you, you get the FTX. So not only are we looking at 1,200 feet per second, we're looking at a good 1,400, 1,500 feet per second with that diameter being only 1 more millimeter. And the 9mm is also going to go that fast, but it won't have the weight behind it. Even though these are hollow points, they do have a significant amount of weight. A bullet continues along. A bullet not only is what you see here, but inside of the cartridge is actually nothing but hard metal. And that hard metal is what keeps that hollow point going, because once this hollow point expands, it doesn't just bounce off. That hard metal keeps going through bone, it keeps going through chest plates, it keeps going through whatever it needs to. And then this keeps expanding and mushrooming more and more and more until you get to the point where it's like the guy's done. So self-defense, 9mm is going to do just fine. If you're willing to take the extra kick, because believe it or not, even though it goes the same amount of velocity, the same speed, this extra weight to the bullet is going to add some kick to it. So yes, the 40 cal is going to have some extra kick. That being said, you guys know the difference. You have a good day.